Hi guys, I'm back with a new video. This is it's about programming languages. Everyone in AlexaMaster community asked me how did I build AlexaMaster? How to build your own website without understanding a lot of codes, without making many mistakes. So everyone asked me the top secrets that I know about programming languages. So in this video, I'm going to discuss 5 secrets of programming languages that I learned before. So now I can program computers using PHP, JavaScript, Java, VB, Visual Basic, .NET or VB.NET or Python, Java, C, Pascal if you ask me, also Pick Basic Pro, any other robotics languages. Every language, every programming language that I learned got 5 secrets. In this video, you can learn this stuff. Believe me, programming a computer is just like understanding a girl. It's so much fun. The computer is really like a girl. You will understand this stuff after this video. So hold on. I know my voice is boring, but hold on. Watch this video very carefully. Here are 5 secrets of programming languages. Number 1, constants. Let me explain what this is. Constant is something that won't be changed. Here we go. Constants never change during the runtime. Look at the girl's picture here. So it's fixed. It's not moving, it's not changing, just fixed. So if something is not changing during the runtime means when you run the software or the website or the code or the script, whatever you call that, when you run that mobile app, can be a mobile app. So when you run the program, we call, let's say you double click on the program or right click and open the program. Yeah, at that point, we call that the execution. After execution, so we call the runtime. So source codes will be loaded to RAM and CPU will start processing and data will be stored in hard disk, cache, everything. But whatever, anything that related to program, if it is not changing, we call that a constant. It's a fixed value. And very important thing, we cannot rename that constant name or constant values because it's a fixed thing. Now the girl here is not changing, she's fixed. So we cannot change her hair color, we can't change her eyeball or lips or anything, we can't change because this is a picture, it's fixed. So there can be a lot of programming languages. The easiest one, I guess you know, JavaScript. In Java, just imagine something that in the JavaScript. Now I'm not going to access complicated codes. I will keep this simple in this video. So in JavaScript, you know var, or that variable sign. This is a keyword. So just look at this list on constants. So never change. The constants, they will never change during runtime. It's a fixed value, cannot rename again and again. They can be a function. If you are familiar with MySQL, there's a function, date function. It is also in PHP. It is also in VB. So the date function is everywhere. Every programming language uses this similar pattern to output a date. So it's a function. This function is a fixed value. It's a constant. So the other one, keyword. As I told you before, the variables in JavaScript, we start the variable name with var, var, var. So this is a keyword. And also symbols like $sign in PHP, or hash sign, or comma, dot, full stop, dot, or the multiple sign, plus sign, minus sign, any symbol can be a constant thing. It never changes. So when you start learning programming languages, number one, you should learn constants. In every language, constants are important, and they must use constants in the programming language, otherwise they can't. That's not a programming language. There's no programming language without constant. At least currently we use binary computers. 1 and 0 is embedded inside the circuit board. So in current computer, constants is mandatory in the language. So it will never change. So you should learn. If you start learning PHP, just start studying constant in PHP. If you start studying Java, start studying constant in Java. Let's move to secret number 2. Variables. Variables are variables. Simply, they are changing. Constants are not changing, they are fixed. Variables are changing. Every programming language use variables. Look at here, the girl starts smiling, right? All right, look at her eyes. They're moving. She says something. Oh, you can see that, right? So now her face is moving. So just imagine x, y coordinates on the picture. So pixels, her hair or her eyes, they are on pixels. So those pixels are moving right now. In this example, I just use a GIF. I downloaded this GIF from Giphy. So anyway, just imagine variables is something changing. So as I noted on this slide, variables, they change during runtime. It's a memory. Of course, these variables will have a value that can be a number, string. String means a text, something. Let's say your name. If your name is, let's imagine, your name is Campbell, okay? Mr. Campbell is a name, so it's a string. But just imagine your age. You are 32, so it's a number. Numbers, string, decimal means it's just about your height. You are 170.5 centimeter or something. So there's a point. It's a decimal place, so it's a decimal. Or this variable can be an object, something like another variable, another set of variables, or an arrays. I will discuss this later. So arrays or something. It can be an image, or sound file, or binary stuff, something. Anyway, a variable can be a string, number, decimal, object. So we can rename variables while we are running the program. That's why I say variables are changing in runtime, but constant are not changing. So also we can use these variables to do calculation, and also we can store some values inside these variables. They are kind of addresses in a memory, random access memory. So somehow these variables can have a complex structure. Now we move to arrays. Arrays are, we use arrays to store more variables. For example, just imagine we have, imagine the girl. Now she's smiling, right? So she has a name and she has her own hair colors, skin colors, lips colors, height, weight, whatever, everything. I'm not going to discuss about other stuff, but I know you can imagine what I got in my head. So everything, every measurement about her body, her skin, and her we can call that her properties. So these can be stored in an array. For example, the girl got an array of variables: her skin color, hair color, height, weight. Those can be numbers. Her name is a string. Her height is a decimal. So, and anything, just we can say it's an array. So when you study a new programming language, you should understand how you have to program these arrays in the language. Again, I'm not going to open up coding window because I keep this lesson simple. It's really difficult to explain everything. The programming is complicated, not easy for everyone. Now I discuss this as a story, but next time I will explain you, because everybody asked me, they wanted to learn the way how I build AlexaMaster platform. So I'm going to create a video about another video about creating a website like AlexaMaster, a complicated website, but A to Z everything. I will do that for you. So before doing, you should learn this simple stuff. So we are on number 2, variables. These are there are 5 secrets of programming languages. So PHP, JavaScript, Java, anything, any programming language, they got variables. Let's move to number 3, logics. Okay. Now you know constants, variables. Now we should learn logics. What are logics? Let's move to logics. Oh, simply a girl can say yes, no. Imagine you are dating a girl, or maybe you are in your university. You are sitting somewhere listening to music using your earphones or anything, whatever. Then a girl comes to you and asks you a question. Hey, what's your name? You can simply say, hey, I'm Dilanto. That's really simple, right? So in logics, we can use, we have to learn if statement. If is something. If means if something happen, what will be the result? Just like that. If I hit you, then what you're gonna do? If I ask a girl whether she wants to marry me, what will be the answer? That will be really crazy, right? So anyway, if logic is to get an answer for a question, if is if, just imagine it's in English if, In English, we use if for if, and in programming languages, any languages, PHP, Java, Python, any language, they use if, this simple if. But there's another if statement, if else. Okay. Just imagine you ask your father to have some pocket money. So there will be two results. If you ask your father to give you money, father can give you money, or father won't give you money. So you receive money or you won't receive money. Then if you don't receive money, what you're going to do? If you receive money, what you're going to do? So if else statement is something like that. Look at the girl. She says yes, no. So you ask something from the girl. Girl say yes, or maybe she can say no. You ask the girl, hey girl, will you love me? She say, maybe she say yes, maybe she says no. So imagine if else is something like that. Next one, if else if is complicated. Now if else if, this is the advanced type of if. It's a continuous questioning method. We call this simply, we use nested if. The technical word is nested if. We use that to explain continuous questions. Imagine this. If your father give you money, you go to club. If you go to club, you meet a girl. But if your father give you money, but you don't go to club, you go to hotel with your girlfriend. So it's kind of tree view. I mean, there will be different kind of branches in that logic. If something, then what if, again if something, if I hit you, you will hit me. Again, if I cover you, then you again hit me. If I scream, people will surround you. If people surround you, then you will be punished. Then like that. Sorry for me. If else something, when something continuously happen, then we use this if else statement. This is also a logic. And next one, switches and nested if are very similar. Believe me, in programming, when I do programming, I don't use switches. I rarely use switches. I really don't like switches, because when you use, if you are an experienced programmer, you will realize we have a lot of option for switches. Switches are really optional. I have seen beginners, every beginner, they use a lot of switches in their coding. But switches are slower than other techniques. I will explain this in another video. Right now, I don't want to mess your head. I don't want to make your head a jungle. So then here, I have noted 4 logics. Keep this in your head. When you study a new programming language, just search for these important logics. If else, if, or switches. Maybe select. It depends. Every programming language has their own way to illustrate these keywords. These are constants. If is a constant, it never gonna change. But the way they are introducing this one, maybe if will be with brackets, curly brackets, or maybe no, simple brackets, maybe square brackets, or maybe with semicolon. So they have their own rules, syntax. I will discuss this later. But if these logics are constants, they are not changing, so you have to study these logics. So what about the fourth one? Let's move to fourth one. Next one is loops. Fourth one is about loops. What are loops? Look at the picture, the GIF. Okay. Here the girl keeps hitting the boy until he get down. Look at that. Loop is something like that. You have to do something until something happens. For example, you have to keep cleaning your house until your mother comes and says stop. You have to keep reading a book until your teacher says stop. Another example, you have to ride your motorbike 10 times around the city. These are loops, right? You do something continuously, it's a loop, but there are some minor difference, minor variations in loops, but practically every programming language got loops. So you have to learn what kind of loops will be in your programming language. For example, in PHP, we got for loops, while loops. Actually, do is very common in VB, Visual Basic. Oh, pardon me here, switches are again. I have written switches here, but we don't use switches, but there's a, if you want to do a loop, you can use a switch or if to do the loop, but it will have if when you use if or switch statement to do a loop, there will be an end. But when you use for or while or do this kind of loops, the code will be simple, and also there will be an end if you put an end there. But in switches, there's always an end. Even you don't, let's say you don't put an end, but if or switch, they got an end. So we cannot call switch and if as a loop. They are just logic. But you have to understand the difference between loops and logics. So for, while, do, these are loops in programming languages. So if you study Java or JavaScript, just search for these loops. Let's move to fifth one. Rules or syntax. Here we discuss about rules, syntax in coding. I told you programming a computer is just like understanding a girl. Sometimes when you talk to a girl, she doesn't like to discuss about parents. She say, "Hey, I don't want to talk about my parents." Sometimes when you when you talk with a girl, she doesn't like to talk about romance. She say, "I'm a straightforward. I don't want to discuss about these romantic. I'm a high IQ." Just like that. So girls, every girl got their own rules. If you violate these rules, you can't understand a girl. Like, you will be an alien like me in front of a girl. Oh, I'm not an alien, but I'm an alien. Anyway, I, I'm not gonna mess you with these alien stuff or UFO. But just in programming languages, you should understand common rules, common syntax in the programming language. For example, you cannot divide any number by zero. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just like when you do this, computer will go crazy. Computer doesn't know the answer for when you divide any number from zero using a zero. I mean, it's really crazy. You will say, what the heck? Why computer cannot understand the answer? But no, it can't. So when you do this calculation inside a programming language, most programming language, most languages will return an error. So you have to learn how to deal with this error. Just like a girl doesn't understand a boy. This is a common syntax, right? How can a girl understand a boy? 100%. It's logically it's logically false. No girl can understand a boy. This is a syntax. This is a rule. So you cannot force a girl to understand you if you are a boy. If you are a girl, you cannot force a boy to understand you. So in programming languages, you can't do this. So you have to understand you cannot divide any number by zero. This is a syntax. So you should research for these common syntax in your programming language. Other one is comments. Again, sorry. I hope it's not corona. So in programming languages, just imagine PHP or JavaScript, we can use forward slash twice to implement a comment. Comments will not be executed inside while you run the program. I mean, in runtime, these comments will not be executed, but they are very useful when you read a source code. So these comments, every programming language got a comments, the way to comments. So you have to identify these methods. It's a rule. So you should learn these comments. Also, brackets. Really important to understand brackets. In programming languages, as I told you before, square brackets, curly brackets, simple brackets, any brackets, there will be only these brackets and the three types of brackets. When you use these brackets, for example, if you define a function, this function will be covered by brackets. So you cannot avoid brackets. Mainly when you define a variable, when you define a constant, there will be a rule when you do these stuff. Then avoiding these rules will output an error. So if you are a beginner, these errors will stop you studying the programming language further. I know this. I have experienced this before. I remember when I started studying programming languages. My first language was Visual Basic. It was VB6. So when I do when I work with VB6, pardon me, when before studying VB6, I tried to learn Java. Java was stupid. For a beginner, believe me, if you are a beginner, if you start studying Java, you won't study Java, you won't study programming languages. This is really crazy, but that's the truth. Java, Python, C, there you must have a teacher to move with these languages. But a language like VB or just like JavaScript or something with HTML. Also PHP. I will show you how fun PHP is in another video. But these languages, these I call them easy languages, PHP, VB6 or JavaScript, this one, you will enjoy learning languages because they output less errors than Java or Python. Or also you have to use a console, black screen with white color text, this console or DOS prompt or something. It's really stupid to work in front of this kind of console because for me, I didn't enjoy that. Everything is kind of alien language. But when you use PHP, VB, or now you can use Visual Studio, VB.NET or something, or JavaScript, these are very easy to understand. And even you're a beginner, even you create a lot, you make a lot of mistakes, but the output will be output can be seen on the interface. So there are 5 secrets in any programming language. So this is the end of this video. I have discussed these 5 secrets. Number 1 is about constants. Number 2 about variables. Number 3 about logics, if else, nested if, switches, this stuff. And the 4th one is about loops, for loops, do loops, while loops, something. And the 5th one is about rules, syntax, comments, brackets, this stuff. So I will create another video about PHP because PHP is so it's this. If you want to build a website like AlexaMaster, PHP is the easiest programming language. So guys, please subscribe to this channel. Now I will not only discuss about digital marketing and and these internet online marketing stuff. I will start creating programming videos like how to create a simple program using a language. But my goal, my target is to teach you the way to build a website like AlexaMaster, a big website with a programming language. So my target is to start with PHP. I plan to create more examples with PHP. Then please subscribe, keep in touch with the channel and like, share. Please leave comment below, then I can answer your questions. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Please join AlexaMaster community. Thank you guys. Thank you very much and have a safe time.